Hello, McFluffy52 here, back with some more March of the Machine action, and today we're playing a deck I'm calling Hell Breach because we're playing Breach the Multiverse, a new 7 mana sorcery. Each player mills 10 cards, and then for each player we get to choose a creature or planeswalker from their graveyard and return it to the battlefield. Well, we're playing Breach the Multiverse with Capricious Hellraiser, which is a 6 mana 4/4 Phyrexian dragon with flying. However, if there's 9 or more cards in their graveyard, or sorry, in our graveyard, it costs 3 less to cast. So you can see how this works pretty well with Breach the Multiverse. And then, as it enters the battlefield, we exile 3 cards at random from our graveyard, and we can choose a non-creature, non-land card from among them and cast it for free, basically. So this allows us to get even more value if we breach the multiverse than return a Capricious Hellraiser. Because we're playing Capricious Hellraiser, you'll notice that we're not playing a ton of creatures. We only have like 3 Bloodtide Harvester, Sheoldred, Etali, Toxrill, and then we have Chandra as a great planeswalker to go with a very heavy instant and sorcery deck. Could allow us to copy the Breach of the Multiverse or just find cards when we run out of it. Also, Chandra can remove things on her own. Very cool card. Let's go ahead and see how we can do with this deck on the ranked ladder. The ranked ladder just reset, so we'll be climbing our way back through Platinum, hopefully. If you have any questions about the deck, you can go ahead and look in the description. There should be a link to AetherHub for the full deck. You can also ask me questions in the comments, or join the Discord in the description and ask me questions there, or just chat with other Magic players. Alright, this hand. It's kind of a cheeky keep because we don't have any other lands, but Bloodtide Harvester could help us filter for a land potentially. So we're gonna try this. I don't necessarily recommend this. We're playing one Celestis because, well, it can mana fix, it can discard, gain us life, all good things. Our opponent's playing Golgari, which is concerning. They're probably just gonna remove this Bloodtide Harvester. Nope. So they had nothing on 2. Huh. Oh. That's spooky. Fight rigging in Golgari colors. There's a lot that could work there. Alright. In interest of hopefully hitting a land drop, we're going to go ahead and discard. I guess we could discard. We don't have anything in the graveyard yet. We'll discard that. Okay, well, that's kind of nice, but don't have the mana to cast it. Looks like we're going to be fighting our ability to draw lands here. Definitely maybe a mistake to have kept this. And though it looks like our opponent is stuck on 3 lands themselves, which is good for us. In that case, I guess we'll go ahead and discard Capricious Hellraiser. We could potentially return that with Breach the Multiverse, or if we draw our second Vat Emergence. We're playing Vat Emergence because we can also return. Oh my goodness. It is a challenge of who will draw another land first, it looks like. Big score, I guess we'll go ahead and discard that. Oh my goodness, no way. That is a little unbelievable. They have nothing going on here. Alright, we hit the next land drop first. I'm gonna call that a win. You can see Bloodtide Harvester having 3 power just chumping in for tons of damage at the moment. We can go for the throat this, so it's not a huge problem. And then we can cast out another Bloodtide Harvester. Sure, we could have played out a Fabled Mirrorbreaker or something, but honestly, they're at 5 life. Let's just keep the pain coming if we can. Yeah. They drew into a 3-drop, but they never drew into their 4th land. Well, that was a very interesting game to start off with, but yeah, that is not the ideal game of Magic. We certainly hope to get up to big things here with this deck. I don't know if it's the best thing to be playing on the ladder at the moment, because I bet a bunch of people are starting to whip out their mono red decks to climb up to Mythic as fast as possible so they can do whatever they want. I believe that is what some people like to do. So we try and we have a ton of removal. We have 3 go for the throats, 2 cut downs, 2 Sheoldred's edicts for our opponents. That is interesting. Opponent, good game immediately. Alright, let's see. But yeah, we have 3 go for the throats, 2 Sheoldred's edicts, 2 cut downs. Oh no. Okay, yeah, they're gonna have like Kami War next turn, which is not good. Did we even bother playing out the Fable of the Mirror Breaker then? Let's find out. I guess I should have held off playing that land until the second main phase. They have 2 mana open here, so they could counterspell if they really wanted to. They could have Spell Pierce as well for non-creature with a Celestis, but no. Looks like our opponent is playing a domain or a 5-color deck, so I'm expecting a Kami War after a land drop, or a just like a Traxa or something. Looks like they're mainly Selesnya because you got planes. Yeah, there's the Flayline Binding at least. That is a domain reward. Cost less for each basic land type. Discard cards. Edict might not be the best thing here. We already have a go for the throat. So, Vat Emergence isn't great. I'll just get rid of these two. Honestly, I haven't been too impressed with the Vat Emergence in this deck, so I might say that is something to potentially remove. I definitely card I would consider removing and swapping out maybe just for a big score, more big scores, because we have like 2 big scores. This is definitely not as flashy of a deck that we were playing yesterday. We were dropping 2020s like turn 3, 4, which was pretty crazy. But we got a fair amount of removal in this deck, so I think if we run into one of those decks, we only lose if they get it down turn 3 and they're going first, and we get like totally land screwed. All right. I think we just swing in. I don't even know if I want to play out the Sheoldred. Because if I play out the Sheoldred, they're just gonna exile it with like Kami War or another Leyline Binding. Maybe I'm being a little bit panicky here. We'll just play a Blood Tithe Harvester down and hold up the Blood token to discard this Black Leaves Cliffs. This is gonna be a tap land. Herd Migration. Interesting. Because we're not going to be able to flip Sheoldred even if we got it down, and we want the value of the ETB. Sheoldred, the new Sheoldred, 5 mana, 4/5 with Menace. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature or planeswalker, and then pay 5 exile and flip it to the True Scriptures. If, yeah, we don't have any enchantment removal, do we? Not running Invoke Despair, which is perhaps a problem. They do get a bunch of value out of this. I mean, I don't even think we go for the throat this because we have Sheoldred, which will just make them sack it anyways, unless they draw into a 1-mana creature that they can play. Looks like they hit a bunch of lands. An Eternal Wander is pretty good. Yeah, okay. Cemetery Desecrator can remove things from graveyards, which is a little annoying, but I don't think it'll be a problem for us. Oh my goodness. Go ahead and get rid of these. I guess we could have gotten rid of the Sheoldred with the 2 Blood Tithe Harvesters, but that seems like kind of a waste. That is an awesome card to draw because maybe we're going to be returning their Atraxa here. That is something that we could end up doing with Breach. And swing. So we got the ETB value out of Atraxa, but we are a land drop away from hitting Breach and returning their Atraxa, which is pretty good. Also, if we just top decked another Vat Emergence. The reason I'm playing this card opposed to like the one that you can cast for flash if you have different mana values in your graveyard is this one says put target creature card from a graveyard. So we can even return our opponent's creatures with this. That's why I'm kind of a fan of Vat Emergence because it can be a lot of fun. Ooh, that's spicy. That is very spicy. Wow, that is very cheap. Ow. Kinda wish we had another land drop here. Alright, well that's unfortunate. Do they stay that way? They do stay that way. This is the only thing that gives them lifelink, death touch, and hexproof though, so we can go ahead and get rid of this. Alright, next turn, if our little goblin survives, we will be able to breach the multiverse, which should be pretty nice. The fact that they turn these leyline bindings into creatures is a little bit scary, because they are 6/6s. That is a very good combo, leyline binding with 0. Turns it into creature with base power and toughness equal to mana value. Which, leyline binding, you might cast it for 1 mana, but it is ultimately... Are they going to get rid of their own Atraxa? That's the question. They do. Damn. It's unfortunate. I was really looking forward to picking up an Atraxa. I think what we might do here, honestly, is do this. Hopefully they don't have a way to kill us. They don't. Okay, cool. Holy moly. Don't think we're gonna discard here. I mean, I guess we could discard the Brotherhood's End. For Toxrill. Okay, I kind of wished we milled into that. Alright, this is breach or nothing. Breach or nothing. Alright, our graveyard, opponent's graveyard. We get an Atraxa from our opponent's graveyard, and from our graveyard, I think in... Ooh, Sheoldred would make them sacrifice one of their things, but Hellraiser could give us a reroll. What is in our graveyard at the moment? Do we hit any other breaches? There is a breach in there, and the Vat Emergence. I think what we'll go ahead and do is hit... We're gonna roll the dice. We're gonna roll the dice here with our Capricious Hellraiser. I want to find out what we get with Capricious Hellraiser first. Brotherhood's End. Oh, that is cool. Sacrifice a non-token creature. We're mostly worried about the creatures, honestly. Because they actually... Well, no, they can't. No, they could kill us, because they could play down their... Oh, they sacrifice that, which is good for us, kind of. Kind of. Actually, no, that's all bad. I think we just lose. 5-color value pile. Etali is fun. Cut down, that's not going to do anything. I mean, we can pick it up. We can certainly pick it up. Commit 3. Why are we missing? Up to 4. Oh, the bit of reunion. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, we can discard the cut down. Do we want Etali or the Capricious Hellraiser? Well, it doesn't really matter. Well, yeah. That Zur flipping those leyline binding, like, how much? Zur is 3 mana, or Zur is 3 mana, and so then they spent 7 mana and created 2 6/6s and a flying 1/4. That is that's pretty crazy. I've not seen many people doing that. All right, well, hopefully this next game we'll be able to overcome our opponent with the value here. Frieza. We are not running Atraxa in this deck because, well, I mean, we could have, but like feels like too much of a gimme, and we don't really have a great way of hard casting Atraxa reliably because we don't have a ton of treasure tokens in this deck. We only have like Fable and the 2 big scores, so that's not quite enough, I think, to get away with it. Okay, this is not ideal having only 1 red source as a Sulphurous Springs, but opponent's playing mono black and they're on the play, which is intimidating. They got Rakdos sleeves. And they got, what is that avatar? Oh, Orzhov. We got Edict and Go for the Throat. If they play a Liliana, we can make them Edict it. Or if they play a creature, we can go for the Throat it, as long as it's not an artifact creature. So if they played out like a Flesh Gorger or a Steel Seraph, we would have trouble. Oh, okay. That is interesting. That is very interesting. Opponent is on the Realm Breaker Invasion Tree Praetor plan here. They're going to be ramping with the Realm Breaker, milling us, and then they can pay 10, sacrifice it, search your library for any number of Praetor cards, put it onto the battlefield, tapped, or put it onto the battlefield, and then shuffle. Sorry, I don't know why I said tapped. We will be able to get Sheoldred down. Invasion of Dominaria, they're going to gain 4 life, draw a card. Interesting. Oh, there's Chandra. I think we'll go ahead and get rid of a Edict and a Swamp. Not bad. Go ahead, attack in. I think we're just gonna play out another Fable here so we can keep looting. And I want to potentially just ramp into an Etali here. The opponent might be playing some juicy stuff. They go ahead and mill us. You don't mind too much. Take a swamp from us. Discard some cards. Do we want to discard multiple cards? We'll get rid of the swamp because we already have a mountain here. I think that's all we're going to do. And then could play down Chandra. Chandra would be pretty cool. Get her down, get her ticking up, because she can do a lot of damage if she gets to stick around. I think we'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, I mean, we'll have enough mana next turn to cast Etali if we want. And double go for the throat. Do we really? I think we just +2 and create mana and we just don't use the mana. Nice thing is we do get double go for the throat on their turn, I think it is. Whenever you cast it, if it's a sorcery spell, copy it, may choose 2 targets for this ability. This ability triggers only once each turn. So yeah, we get it twice on their turn as well, but our opponent just immediately vanquishes to eternity it. Opponent presumably playing Removal City, I guess. Orzhov Removal City. Breach the Multiverse, that's exciting. I think we'll go ahead, attack in with everything. We'll leave this up. Because potentially we get to do something fun here if we do this. We get to mill our opponent and ourselves. Oh, they have farewells. They have nothing in... Wait, what? They hit nothing out of their graveyard. Oh, we'll just Capricious Hellraiser, hopefully hit another breach. We hit another breach! Let's go! Vraska? Sure, we'll take a free Vraska. And then our graveyard, why not a Sheoldred? Sure. And then proliferate, draw a card. Sure. Yeah, we'll proliferate your battle. We drew a card, so we gain some life. End the turn. Next turn, we should be able to end the game with a Kiki Jiki. They could farewell absolutely everything. That would be a little sad. Wow, wait, they're playing 86 cards. We'll go ahead and just go for the throat our Sheoldred so we can return it if we want. We will be able to play Sheoldred and then potentially flip it? Oh wait, I may have used treasures that would have been relevant. Yeah, I think I technically used treasures that would have been relevant to do that. Alright, well, in that case, we'll just go ahead. Do we even want to draw a card? Because they're milling us out. Sure, why not? And then we play out Etali. We get a free spell off their library and ours. Theirs might be like just removal. That's a Sunfall. We don't really care for that. It's fine. Big score, sure. We'll discard the cut down. That's not going to really do much work, is it? And then play that out. And then next turn we should be able to Sheoldred and flip it? Think so. And then we might even be able to give haste with Bitter Reunion. We're also on our way to just removing our opponent with oh, I take that back. Bye bye, Vereska. Will we be able to get Sheoldred flipped? That'd be cool. We got 10 cards in our library, which is a little intimidating. They don't seem to have any Praetors in their library, so I'm wondering if they're just playing this for... They're just a very silly mill deck. Auto pay. We'll get Rise of the Dark Realms in 2 turns, which is pretty good. Ooh. Yeah, we ended up milling ourselves here, potentially. They could Realmbreaker play another Realmbreaker, but I think we've milled a few of their Realmbreakers. There's one. So they have another Realmbreaker in hand. They might actually just be able to mill us out here. If they don't have another Realmbreaker in hand, we should be able to flip Etali and one-shot them. Well, that's if they don't have an Emperor. So they could exile the Etali. They'd probably have more exile removal, I would think. Like, I think we're honestly going to lose here, but I'm not too upset because we got to do a lot of fun things. It just happened that we ran into an opponent playing a over 100 card library, which they would have been milled out along with us if it wasn't for this. Is the opponent Evoke Despair? Okay. That is crazy. This Bitter Reunion might be the secret to us actually living this game. We need to draw into... Oh no. A land? Don't you want to mill us? Kinda needed one of those. Alright. Oh, we lost because our opponent's just playing a 100 card removal deck and... Oh, that is upsetting to say the least. Oh man. Kinda happy because we got to cast a bunch of big spells, but at the same time, that's rough. That is rough. Alright, this will be the game. This is time. But now we'll win, definitely. Definitely. We're not gonna just lose streak through this video. Please. 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 The only game that we won on video so far is opponent got stuck on 3 lands, we got stuck on 2 for several turns. Opponent goes first, so that's not great for us. We are stuck on 2 lands at the moment, but we should hopefully draw into a land because we're on the draw here, so we should see more cards than our opponent. Opponent's playing Body Launderer. Strange. They're planning to sacrifice things. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, Body Launderer connives. When it dies, return another non-rogue creature card with equal or lesser power from your graveyard to the battlefield. They could take Liliana up if they really wanted to, but I assume they're going to take her down. Yeah. Makes sense. We're going to have to play this out. And we're going to fail to find that land drop. It is hard to hit 3 lands sometimes. Yikes, that is frustrating. But we can actually just Brotherhood's End if we roll into a land. An untapped land, let me clarify. Most of our lands should, I think all of our lands should be untapped at this point. We're not going to let them have that card advantage, though we are just going to suffer here. That's what it appears. Because drawing a land is not an option apparently. Alright, we will hold up this Brotherhood's End. We'll discard a big score. I don't know, I feel like we kind of just lost there, getting stuck on 2 lands for 4 turns in a row. That would have been a loss against the deck that we were playing previously. They return a creature card from the graveyard. Interesting. This probably discards a card.
Drop it.
Fable. Start with a Fable. Okay. Play Brotherhood's End. Get rid of that.
Delay. Nothing more.
Can big score our Fable if we want, and then try and return Etali. Or we just top deck into a land and return Etali. Sounds good to me. Okay, we're doing the Reanimator thing. Wait a minute. We return their Olivia. This is huge. This huge brain. Watch this. We return their Olivia so that we can return Etali so we get a free spell off of each library. And we hit so if we select this one first, it resolves second. So we want this one to resolve first because it will mill 3 cards, so hopefully we hit something good. If we do hit something good, well, a Sheoldred is hopefully not going to get exiled. We get another Vat Emergence, which means we can cast that, and we can return the Sheoldred, forcing our opponent to sacrifice their Body Launderer, and they'll only be able to return nothing, I don't think. Oh wait, no, they will be able to return something. As long as it doesn't have Death Touch, our Etali survives. That was a very glorious Reanimator turn. Holy moly. We managed to reanimate their Olivia and then pop off from there. Brilliant. I think our opponent was planning to reanimate their Olivia with their Body Launderer, and we stole it from them, and then double reanimated. Oh my goodness. That was beautiful. That was what the deck wants to do. Just Reanimator, like jank together, like cast something with your Hellraiser that's fun, you know. Wow, that was cool. That I feel like that makes up for those previous 2 losses, at least in my book. That was a lot of fun. I don't know if this deck though, the few games that we played so far, I don't know if this deck is necessarily something you want to be playing on rank if you're ranked, if you're planning to rank up super fast. I think that always goes to like mono red and everything. Those cards or those decks will always kind of reign supreme in terms of fast ranking. Because you either win fast or you lose fast, and you probably have a pretty good win rate because mono red is decently strong right now. Do we play Celestis or do we Fable? Maybe we play Fable. Opponent's Esper, which is intimidating. I think we'll play Fable. We can get rid of this Blood Tide Harvester next turn potentially. I can always reanimate it with a Vat Emergence potentially. Opponent Esper. They're not Esper Legends, presumably. We'll discard this Blackleaf Cliffs. I think we might also get rid of the Vat Emergence because we have nothing to reanimate. We'll play out a land. We'll swing in here. Maybe they have a removal for the Goblin. They don't like treasure token. Yep, alright. That means whatever we play here is not going to get countered, which is pretty good. So we can go ahead and play out our other Fable. That seems like a good plan. Card is good if you can resolve it. Eli Star. For Ellie Star? I'm assuming it's Eli Star. Okay. What do we discard? Not a huge fan of having like a Blood Type Harvester here. Let's see if we can find something. Okay, we should have gotten rid of the land, I guess. See if they have a removal spell. Well, we can play Celestis and then potentially big score away the swamp and on their turn, and they let that resolve, so we can big score on their turn, and then potentially we'll find something good. Something big and good to cast. I guess we could big score and response or not. I forgot to do it at the right time. Alright. Hopefully they don't just sit here and hold up more mana. They're looking for a land, presumably. They got 8 cards in hand. There they go. They hit their 4th land drop. What are they going to drop? They're just going to fling the removal now. Fair enough. I will be sad if they counterspell this. Because we're spending a treasure to do this, but it's not the end of the world. It's just... we go down cards, treasures, and stuff. I'm assuming they're going to counter. They have 2 mana open and they don't play it. I guess they're just going for the Bankbuster draw. Or they're more of a removal-oriented deck. I mean, we could play out this Capricious Hellraiser and potentially get like a Fable or something. We'll first go ahead and attack in, as you know, maybe our opponent will use up their mana responding to the Goblin. Nope. Not yet. Alright. Hellraiser it is. Free card, free card. We'll probably hit something we can cast, I would hope. I do want to see that big score get exiled, hopefully. The nice thing is, Hellraiser also works pretty well with Reflection of Kiki Jiki, because you can go ahead and copy the Hellraiser and get the ETB again. Unlike Etali, which is legendary, so you can't copy it. Also, that is a good card to have drawn into. We're going to go ahead and play down this swamp then, and something's telling me maybe I shouldn't jam the Chandra here. I should have probably just played it. They were going to draw anyways. That's probably an error, but you know, having 5 treasures just feels good. To populate, yeah, that's probably okay. Yeah. They are completely tapped out, which means we can play Chandra in peace. We'll add mana with this, because why not? Red, black, play out Blood Dive Harvester. There's our creature. And then we'll hold up a big score on their turn. Or we could do it our turn. Maybe that's a good idea, because we can get... they're tapped out, and we can get a double trigger off of Chandra here, if we cast it this turn. So, Cappy, double. Adds a bunch of treasure tokens. Those are some nice cards. We don't have enough mana for Breach the Multiverse, but we'll be able to double cast it if Chandra survives. Opponent could have a Void Rend, or a Sheoldred, or a Sheoldred, or there's a bunch of things that they could have that would nullify our Chandra here, but that is not one of them. But we do actually get to Sheoldred's Edict their Chandra, or their Liliana. We'll go ahead and discard the Brotherhood's End. We'll wait until they potentially draw with their Bankbuster, maybe? Oh.
One of your friends has to leave.
Alright, each opponent sacrifices a Planeswalker. Oh, this is going to double cast, so they can't really counterspell it effectively, which is fun. So their Liliana will die. Looks like they're just playing draw with their Bankbuster here. Well, we'll just breach the Multiverse to start, I think. We do get a double cast of this, so that's pretty huge. We are further into our library than our opponents, so we're going to be running that risk of milling ourselves out again, which will be fun. Fun in its own special way. The opponent has 2 mana open. They can try and counter. Oh, Etali. Ooh, Eternal Wander. Wow, they got a lot of good Planeswalkers. Ooh, I think we just go with Etali. Etali, and then... so we can return any one of these again next breach. Free spell. Ooh, Capricious Hellraiser is pretty darn good. Take the Kaido, the Hellraiser. Oh, we can haste in if we can find. Yep, opponent sacrifices a token creature. We might actually be able to kill our opponent here. Funny enough.
The system can't fix everything.
Uh, I might honestly just take an Emperor here, and then a Toxrill seems like it'll do a lot of damage. And what will we
I've
do?
learned much during my
I
travels.
will create a
Let me
2/2.
show you.
I will create
I
a
thought
2/2. I will create a 1/1.
your blades were cool.
I will play a Bitter
I have
Reunion.
all kinds of connections.
That was not interrupted. So we'll go ahead, draw this card, play a land, sacrifice this to give everything haste, and I will slam them in your face. Alright, that was an epic win. We got the double hull breach into Capricious Hellraiser. Oh man, we just hit so much fun stuff off of that one spell. Opponent had 2 mana open. I don't know where any of their counter spells were. I mean, Esper Walkers, I would have expected at least like a couple make disappears, bare minimum. But or even like what is it? In reject imperfection, like 3 mana counter any spell or whatever, and then if it's three or less, proliferate because then they can proliferate their planeswalkers. I am glad that they did not run counter spells, because that would have been that would have been sad. A negate there would have been sad. We still would have gotten one breach the multiverse, which would have still been pretty crazy, but not nearly as ridiculous. Oh my goodness, can we find a land or a hand with more than one land or two lands? Sorry, I can't English right now. It is my first language. I'm just dumb. Alright, double breach. We'll just discard a breach because we might be able to hit a breach off of Hellraiser here if we ramp into one. Nice. We have a land drop for next turn, so we can keep on curving out. We do have Brotherhood's End for if they start playing creatures out. I'm a little worried that they're playing Jund here, so they're either pretty good grindy removally value, or they're playing Jund fight rigging, which is also kind of terrifying in its own right. Alright, we'll play a swamp here so we can hold up the Go for the Throat on top of just cutting that down. Opponent still does kind of get a 2-for-1 value because they get this blood token, which they can use to filter away. Is just a good card there. Yeah, there's nothing we can do about this. If we go for the throat, we save ourselves 3 damage, but is 3 damage going to be worth it? I don't know. Pressure token, draw a card. My turn. Alright, well, it looks like this is going to be a very boring hand for us in terms of, on our turn, we're not going to be doing much. We're just going to be holding up removal on our opponent's turn. Opponent has a Graveyard Trespasser? We're looking at our graveyard. Yeah, we're looking at our graveyard. I know a lot of people have been playing around with, Breach the Multiverse in, Rakdos Shell. So I thought it would. Well, I was planning to play Breach the Multiverse, and it seemed pretty obvious to me that it would be really fun to play with Chandra, but it is more fun than I would have imagined. That double cast last game, and then we were able to give everything haste, which was kind of important. Opponent, though, kind of just ramping here. 4-color Invoke. They haven't hit a blue source yet, so they're. Oh my goodness. Like, do I cast this Brotherhood's End, or I think I just hold up removal here. Though we might die to, like, invoke despair value. The opponent here, they could copy invoke despair, like, once. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, that's not good. That is not good. Well, we can expect an Atraxa being reanimated. This, Invasion of Tolvada. I do want to make a Mardu Reanimator deck with, like, Kroxa and Invasion of Tolvada. Oh, okay.
Who are cared for in Phyrexia's ranks? Join us.
We do. This is why we're running Sheoldred's Edict, because it can also hit Planeswalkers. That's really it's really it.
Phyrexia's
I played like one game with this deck, 1 or 2 games with this deck without it, and I was like, well, maybe we need more to go off of. So that is the long story short. We are we have 4 cards in our graveyard, so we could miss with this Capricious Hellraiser if we manage to ramp into it. Opponent still has 5 mana up to reanimate their Atraxa, 6 mana up. They could play Croxa at Sushi, that is just good value. Good value card. If it dies, they get to exile top 2 cards or create 3 treasure tokens. Okay, that is amazing. That is actually awesome. Brotherhood's End doesn't seem very useful, and we'll just keep it there. Yeah, you're trying to reanimate. We'll help you out there. We got this covered. Yeah, why not proliferate our Fable? Sure. Oh, I love Vat Emergence. I love the fact that it says any graveyard, or it says it doesn't specify a graveyard. Choose up to 5. Oh my goodness, we're gonna be discarding. That's fine. Do we need more red or black sources? Black sources. And yeah, that seems good. Alright, what do we... Oh, we have a land drop that we can make. Discard 2 cards. Do we need to go for the throat? Probably. Bitter Reunion is nice for giving haste. Vat Emergence we can toss, and Big Score we can toss, because we could potentially hit those with Capricious Hellraiser, I think. That seems good. And then next turn, we will actually be able to go ahead and play out a Capricious Hellraiser and potentially hit Breach the Multiverse or another Vat Emergence to return something from their graveyard or our graveyard. Opponent goes ahead, draws 3 cards with their briefcase. Wow. That's a good sign. That is a good sign. I mean, we're not too upset if we hit a Sheoldred's Edict with this. I think we just go ahead and do this because then we can copy it with a reflection of Kiki-Jiki if Kiki-Jiki survives. Worst case, we... Breach? Breach? And the opponent surrenders. Oh, darn. You're missing out on the fun, opponent. Oh. Oh, this is glorious. We'll play another. We'll play one more. And I mean to keep stop saying that because I feel like everyone's gonna hop off the video when I say we'll play one more. But it's to remind myself that I gotta stop playing at some point for the video. This deck has been a lot of fun though. It's been a lot of fun. Breach the Multiverse, actually, unironically, a super fun and actually playable card. I feel like it reminds me of Atraxa. Atraxa, I read it and I was like, oh, that's just a ball of stats. That's not gonna be like that's not gonna necessarily make waves. It's like a don't get me wrong, it draws you cards and like lifelink vigilance like stat ball like I was saying. But that's not broken. And then here we are, like Atraxa's one of the best creatures. Wait, can I not cut that down? Oh, we can. Alright, well, we will cut it down because why not? If we draw into a big... Ooh. This is why we're playing Celestis. I don't think we're going to need this cut down in the future because I don't think we're going to play... Oh my goodness. Uh... Wait, we can just do this on their turn. Anyways, yeah, just end turn. We're not doing anything suspicious, opponent. Please don't have targeted discard, like a duress. Then I'll be sad. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yep, Brotherhood's End, we do not want to hit you, or use you. Oh my goodness, Chandra, that's cool. First, let us breach. Does breach turn 5? Oh my goodness. Alright, I'm a greedy person. We could Sheoldred here, and it's gonna be good. Ah, fine. I'll Sheoldred. I will Sheoldred. It's the responsible thing to do. Get rid of the Obliterator before it can cause problems, and then maybe we'll be able to reanimate everything with Sheoldred. We're only playing like one of like a lot of creatures because we don't want to hit them with the Hellraiser. Uh, that's one interesting about this deck. I'll go ahead and play out this. We can then use mana, or like generate mana with it to play out Fabled Endear Breaker, generate red-black. Opponent does not have any Edict for our Planeswalker, which is cool. Is there anything in black that has haste? I don't think in standard at the moment, which is nice. I know there was the card Skitherix, or I think people call it Skittles or whatever, that came with the Multiversal Legends. Um, ho ho ho, sure. Oh yeah, I like some random free spells. Hell yeah. Uh, I remember I built a really kind of crazy deck with this Capricious Hellraiser where it was like we were playing Is It and we were just hoping to just mill ourselves as fast as possible so that we hit like a portal or something, like a one with the multiverse. I think the video is called like Chaos Dragon. I could probably put it at the end of the video in the end cards. So if you're interested in seeing more Capricious Hellraiser, there's that deck that I made with it. No! Big sad. Well, maybe we'll get it back with this Capricious Hellraiser. Nope, we are not discarding this Blood Type Harvester. Because I don't want to potentially hit this Blood Type Harvester instead. Vat Emergence, we can return a creature. Our graveyard, yeah, we're gonna return Etali. Free spell, hell yeah. And then we get to flip that because we proliferate with Vat Emergence, which is cool. Free spell, oh, Obliterator, sure. Fable. That was cool, opponent. Why not draw a card while we can? Cool. Don't think we played a land for the turn, so that actually worked out great. Boom. Big board. We can flip Etali to one-shot kill them next turn if they don't remove Etali. There is Invasion of Fiora, which was introduced as a 6-mana board wipe in black. They also have Path of Peril, but that requires white to cleave it. Otherwise, it only does... That does do a lot of work here, but we do get to keep a fair amount of our board, which is still pretty good. We will get to draw, discard these away, I think. Yeah, I don't think we want the Blood Type Harvester, even if we could potentially be good. I mean, we could have... We'll play that. We can trigger this when we go to attack in. Pay a little life, draw a little card. And then next turn we get to breach the multiverse again. We have Go for the Throat if they play anything big. 26 cards in the library, 30 in there. We're pretty good. We're not at risk here, I don't think. Sheoldred, that is fine. What are you gonna make me sack? Oh, I get to choose. Sure. Yeah. GG's opponent. Oh my goodness. This Breach of the Multiverse does really allow for some big and fun stuff. I'm glad we're playing Capricious Hellraiser, Etali, a lot of one-ofs, fun-ofs, but yeah, if you enjoyed this deck, maybe you'll enjoy the Capricious Hellraiser deck that I created previously. It was before March of Machine came out. Or you'll enjoy yesterday's video, where we played with the Ancient Imperiosaur. We basically tried to play out a 2020 dinosaur as fast as possible, and kind of just win that way. You can really take a lot of opponents by surprise, and it was actually what I used to climb to Mythic before the end of last season, which was cool. Anyways, have a nice morning, evening, night, afternoon, wherever and whenever you're watching. Ciao.